Hey guys, what's up? MadSeason here, back with another video for you. Throughout the game, there's a bunch of really hidden or secret areas for you to explore. Some intended, and others, well, not so much. It's pretty fun to just explore and see what's there, so in this video, I thought I'd pick 5 random ones to show you. Some you might not know about, and some you might know about already, but hopefully you'll find it entertaining regardless. Note that this video isn't a guide on how to get to these areas. I just want to show the locations to you. You can figure out how to reach them with a quick Google search though. I'll try to be pretty thorough, but because I am going over 5 areas, I won't go super in depth to keep the length down. If any of these piqued your interest though, and you'd like to see a more thorough coverage, I'll have some links in the description for you to check out. So, the first place I wanted to show you is like the mother of all hidden areas in the game, and those are the hidden crypts under Karazhan. Right behind Karazhan, there's a crypt that leads to a huge underground cavern that really serves no purpose other than being a cool area to explore. At the entrance, there's this ominous black pit that you can jump through. The drop will kill you without a slow fall, and you'll find yourself on top of a giant pile of bones from other foolish adventurers. Continuing the other way leads you through a series of catacombs with bones and corpses everywhere to this giant tomb area with clickable gates. Even further down leads to another giant open area, and nearby you can find the Room of Upside Down Sinners, probably the most gruesome room in the entire game. This is a large body of water that holds corpses suspended upside down with ropes and chains. The whole area is quite eerie, especially if you're listening to the ambience. The whole time you're adventuring, you're hearing this off-putting background noise with a heartbeat sound effect as well. As for its use, some people have speculated that it was going to be a questing area, and others said it was going to be another wing in the Karazhan raid. It was addressed by an official Blizzard post, but it didn't really confirm anything. He just said that it was probably an area that they just changed their minds about and later abandoned. It's cool that they left it in for people to find though, and it's probably my favorite hidden area in the game. Next is the old Naxxramas 40-man entrance. Back in vanilla, the raids used to be located inside of dungeons. The Molten Core was in the Blackrock Depths, Blackwing Lair was in the Blackrock Spire, and Naxxramas originally was to be inside of the Stratholme dungeon on the undead side. In the final area of the dungeon, right outside of Rivendir's building, if you take a left, you'll notice a locked gate with a green portal behind it. This is normally inaccessible in the instance, but there's a way that you can get into the uninstanced version of Stratholme. This is a replica of the normal Stratholme, and in this version, the gate that was previously blocking your path is now unlocked. If you go through, you'll see a little area of Stratholme that you've never seen before. Up in the sky, you'll see a necropolis with the platform under it. This was the original entrance to the Naxxramas 40-man raid. It doesn't function, of course, it's all just scenery, but pretty neat nonetheless. But there's a little more to this area. On your map, you may have noticed a zone north of the Eastern Plaguelands that you've never been able to access. It's on the map, but there aren't any paths leading to it. This has stumped players ever since vanilla, wondering what the heck could be over there. Well, this uninstanced Stratholme actually leads to there. If you keep going north, you'll eventually reach this area. The official zone name is called quel'thalas, and it's a neat little spot. On the shore, you can find some nice scenery, an empty dock, a tall tower, and a small ruin. It's a cool little spot hidden away from everything. Anyways, next we have the WKM room. In the middle of Orgrimmar, there's this pretty odd looking spire-like rock structure. Well, what if I were to tell you that something was inside of it? If you get under Orgrimmar using shenanigans, you can get under the rock, and if you fly up, you'll find that it's hollow, and at the top there's this tiny little room. It has a shrine with a plaque that says WKM with a little candle under it. No one knows what it stands for, not even Blizzard. Some people have said that maybe it's the initials of a developer or something like that, but nothing official, and to this day it's still a big mystery. And lastly, we have the Old Mount Hyjal. This was of course officially released during Cataclysm, but Hyjal did exist as a zone in vanilla, and it was similar to the area north of the Eastern Plaguelands where you could see the zone, but it was inaccessible, and when you moused over it, it gave you no information. And when I say inaccessible, I mean by normal means. Using some sneaky wall climbing, you could reach it back in the day, and what awaited you was actually a pretty huge and extensive zone. There weren't any mobs or NPCs anywhere, but there was quite a lot to explore. I'll sort of split it up into points of interest. First is the cave leading into the zone. There was a cave that led here from Winterspring past a bunch of elite demons, but it was blocked off and you had to use a wall jumping technique to get past it. Had this zone been released, this would have served as the entryway. Going forward, you have a clearly paved path that spans throughout the entire zone, and you have a bunch of trees and foliage along the way. It's much more intact and serene compared to the Cataclysm version where a good chunk of it was on fire. Moving forward though, you will find a more dead area with some bubbling fell water down below. Hyjal was the battleground for the final conflict in the Third War where Archimonde was slain, so it makes sense to have some messed up areas like this that were corrupted by the Burning Legion. Next up, and probably most interesting, is the Onyxia Cave. Down a chasm, you'll find an exact copy of the Onyxia Cavern from the Dustwall of Marsh. It's blocked off and you can't progress, but you can see a green portal behind the closed teeth. So, they must have had plans to release some sort of raid here at some point, but they just never got to it. Progressing past that though is a more open area with a small night elf ruin, and a little bridge that leads to a big drop to Fellwood. I'll jump down here at the end of the video for your amusement. Past this is a really big cliff with a pool of water at the bottom. At this point, you might start recognizing the layout compared to the Battle for Mount Hyjal raid released in the Burning Crusade. If you keep ascending, you'll run into a giant crater area with all surrounding plant life burnt away. Perhaps this is a landing site of some sort? And moving past that is a highlight of this area in my opinion, and those are the actual bones of the Eredar demon Archimonde tangled up in the World Tree. Like I said, Hyjal was the site of the final battle of the Third War. It's where the World Tree, Nordrassil, is located. This is what gave Night Elves their immortality, and it's where Archimonde was slain. Quite a lot of detail and work went into a zone that never saw the light of day, until it was re-released sort of in the Burning Crusade and then the Cataclysm of course. Going down the incline leads to the end of the path where you'll find some construction signs left by a Blizzard mapper. But that's about it. I hope you found these areas interesting and let me know if you want to see more stuff like this. There's a ton of hidden areas in the game, so let me know if you want to see it all and I'll make a follow-up to this. I hope you found the video entertaining, like it if you liked it, and thanks for watching. Peace.